Good evening, and to those of you who enjoyed your day off, certainly hope you relaxed. These are the stories that we've been following for you on NTV tonight.
Tonight,
we'll go out in full speed. Anybody, regardless of his color.
An MCA and an OCS are first to fall on the government's ruthless crackdown on drug dealers. And a leaking tanker shuts down a town in Nakuru.
It has caused some suspense in the area.
As families of Tanzania tanker tragedy identify bodies. Also, the impending second phase of evictions brings politicians to the forest.
Mau belong to the Narok people.
Those children in the Mau are not guilty of anything.
Also tonight, Harambee Stars are without a coach. Sebastian Minye and FKF part ways.
NTV Tonight with Smriti Vidyarthi.
Thanks for joining us. Flora Atieno is our sign language interpreter tonight. And we begin in Mombasa, where the government made good on its promise of a ruthless campaign against the drug trade in the region. Well, first to fall on this crackdown was a police officer and a member of the Mombasa County Assembly, who are among 18 people arrested today on suspicion of having links, to the illicit trade. NTV's Kevin Mutai reports from the front lines of the government's war on drugs at the coast.
The first victims of the government's tough on crime policy to end the drug trade and killings that have swept over the coast were the men charged with enforcing this very law. Kizingitini OCS Shadrack Mumo and 3 other officers were arrested for allegedly colluding with a drug baron who sneaked in a consignment of bang through the Mtangwanda jetty in Lamu West. The 4 are said to have taken a bribe of 50,000 shillings to release the suspect, who is still at large. Police later recovered the drugs and a knife.
Ningehimiza wananchi kama wanajua ofisa yote ya polisi ambaye anahusika na mambo ya kuonesha mambo ya mihadarati wapige ripoti kwangu mara moja, na hiyo ofisa kuanzia saa hii mlile ipo hiyo ofisa tutakamata.
Bofu Ward member of County Assembly Ahmed Salama alias Bulldozer was also arrested in Likoni and taken to the police headquarters in Mombasa to record a statement. Detectives from the anti-narcotics unit thereafter accompanied him to his house to gather more information as they investigate his alleged role in the drug business. In a twist of irony, the MCA was among the coastal leaders who attended Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i's meeting in Mombasa, and where he announced a new onslaught on drug lords. Police are currently detaining a total of 18 suspects linked to the narcotics business and who were arrested today.
Kuna maofisa ni kama wamekaa sana, wamejuana na hiyo watu, wanaendeleza hiyo biashara, wanawaficha, wanawapitishia information. But hii habari tukiipata tu we deal with them na disciplinary, kuko na maneno ya matransfer na nini, na unajua tukivunja hiyo laini ya madawa sasa hata yeye mwenyewe amevunjikia pale.
There is nothing that will stop at arresting any form of criminality, whether it is drug related, whether it is on incitement, whether it is on robbery, whether it is on a criminal gang. We'll go out in full speed to arrest anybody regardless of his color, and we are not fearing anybody.
Police in Mombasa also raided the home of Ali Punjani, a Mombasa tycoon suspected to have links to the drugs trade. They couldn't, however, gain access to his house in Nyali as no one was home.
Hapa tutatoka mpaka tuhakikishe nyumba hili nyuma yetu mnaangalia imepeguliwa chini juu, na tukathibitisha ya kwamba hapo ndani hakuna dawa au dawa yapatikana. Na tunamuomba popote alipo ajitokeze na jisalimishe katika kituo cha polisi kilicho karibu.
The government says there's a link between the drug trade and the soaring crime rates in Mombasa and other coastal counties. These gangs, most of which have young members, have been on a spine-chilling show of force at the coast. In Bamburi, Kisauni constituency, residents are still reeling from Monday's attack by members of the Wakalikwan gang. Residents say these attackers are often under the influence of drugs.
Sasa vile nilikuwa chini nikaona hawa watu wako serious, wakaanza mpaka kukatakata pikipiki.
Shida kubwa inayotusumbua kabisa, inaobadilisha vijana sana ni unga. Hizi drugs ndo zinabadilisha watu hapa.
In Kisauni, the dreadful Wakali Wao, Wakali Kwanza, Waliotengwa and Congo Boys gangs rule the territory. In Likoni, the gangs which include Gaza, Chafuza Down, Geta Family, Kapenguria 6 and Born to Kill operate in the island or in Majengo. The members of these gangs are aged between 15 and 24 years and are usually armed with just rudimentary weapons.
Tayari kuna hofu hata sasa huwezi fanya biashara kwa sababu hujui tena watarudi leo. Unaona, though maafisa wa usalama wameanza kufanya kushika doria, lakini hatuna imani nao kwa sababu mbona inafanyika na walikuwa wako wapi? Kwa sababu lazima wao kuna watu tuko hata informer wako hapa ndani.
The more the drug business booms, the more the crime. The more the crime, the more the drug business booms. Unaelewa? Sasa hizi vitu viwili vinaambatana pamoja.
Police claim the gangs are being funded by drug kingpins and politicians. Some of the suspects arrested in the wake of last Monday's Bamburi attack have provided police with crucial information on links to powerful individuals in Mombasa. That information also led to the capture of their leader, identified as Amani Munga alias Boka. Boka was fatally shot on Friday in Kisauni after he allegedly tried to attack a police officer.
I am not deluded. It is going to be a painful exercise, but we are prepared to start the journey. And safari hii, we have to confront this issue head on.
The new onslaught hopes to bring down on drug empires at the coast, as it did with the Akasha Empire that came crumbling as the two brothers Baktash and Ibrahim faced life in prison.
The process will not.
The Akashas also admitted to obstructing justice by systematically bribing Kenyan police officers, judges and a prosecutor in an attempt to prevent their extradition to the US. Several other people suspected to have links in the drug business have been arrested in Kisauni. Kevin Mutai, NTV, Mombasa.
All right, certainly a story that we will be following closely. Now, a section of the Nairobi-Nakuru highway was temporarily cordoned off after a lorry transporting litres of petrol was found to be leaking. Police kept away members of the public, some of whom planned to collect the leaking fuel. Well, disaster averted for today, even as the death toll in Saturday's fuel tanker explosion in neighbouring Tanzania rose to 75. Here's Seth Olalo with the details.
The incident had all the makings of a disaster waiting to happen. But it didn't. Firefighters from Nakuru County government frantically worked to keep danger at bay. Police also cordoned off the area where a leaking petroleum tanker that had been abandoned in the middle of the road near the Kenya Pipeline Company depot along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway. The truck was ferrying 45,000 litres of super petrol. The tanker had left Mombasa on Sunday and was heading to Kampala. The driver discovered it was leaking when he got to Nakuru. He abandoned it and called for help. But if the incident that happened on this road 10 years ago in Sanchangwan was no lesson or even a deterrence, a number of locals with jerrycans were waiting in the wings to collect fuel. It took the intervention of the police to keep the residents from the nearby pipeline, Barnabas and Mwariki areas away.
Well, from the incident that shut down that section of Nakuru County to the pay dispute that threatens to shut down operations in some counties. The 15 counties that hadn't yet paid their workers' salaries for the month of July have until tomorrow to do so to avert a pay parade on Wednesday. The Kenya County Government Workers Union says the county governments have a reprieve on grounds that today was a public holiday, but are still expected to pay up by tomorrow, failure to which their employees will invoke their right to take industrial action. The counties had delayed the payments of salaries on account of the standoff between the county governments and the national government over the division of revenue. Well, 23 counties have heeded the union's call and paid their salaries by Friday of last week. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Council of Governors, Wycliffe Oparanya, has alleviated concern that counties face a total paralysis over the pay dispute, saying that some had found alternative sources of funds to settle the employees' claims. He, however, says the dragged-out stalemate between the Senate and the National Assembly over that division of revenue bill had left many more counties to pinch pennies to support daily operations. Listen in.
Every financial year we have had problems. We have never had a seamless transfer from one financial year to the other. But this was more evident because of the stalemate that we have had between the National Assembly and the County Assembly. Otherwise, other years, the same problem we have had it, but it has been quiet. Either the division of revenue bill has not been passed by the Senate, is delayed somewhere. We wait for 2-3 weeks, but it is passed quietly and there is no problem. But this time, because there was no agreement between the National Assembly and the Senate on division of revenue, that's why it's more evident.
And still on disputes, but this time between the teachers and their employer. The Teacher Service Commission is now extending an olive branch to the Kenya National Union of Teachers and is ready to meet with them over the dispute over pay and promotion of teachers. The TSC in a statement, however, insists that it is also planning to appeal the ruling of the Labour Court that reignited the bad blood between the two entities after the Commission issued 2 payrolls, one for NUT members and another for non-members. NTV's Brenda Wanga, who unpacks the controversy rocking the teaching fraternity.
The July ruling by the courts opened up the latest round of clashes between the Kenya National Union of Teachers and their employers, the Teachers Service Commission. That ruling has left the teaching fraternity under the administration of 2 payrolls, one for the Kenya National Union of Teachers membership and the other for non-members or NAT.
And it's fundamentally wrong for TSC to negatively react and vent their bitterness by using the payroll.
While NAT has decried the creation of 2 payrolls, the TSC has defended its actions, saying it was simply obeying court orders. According to the TSC, those court orders have cost the members of NAT major promotional benefits that had been achieved through the collective bargaining agreements.
Makes us strong.
Under the CBA of 2018, teachers' promotions will be based on career progression guidelines as opposed to the schemes of work. This meant that promotion was automatic after entry for certificate, diploma and degree holders. It also meant that teachers' promotions will be accelerated without them having to wait for the requisite 3 years. Teachers will also benefit from an increase in the number of salary bands. The court ruling now has these provisions in limbo.
Teachers are not promoted arbitrarily. They are promoted on the basis of law, which is an act of parliament.
But not all teachers' unions are reading from the KNUT script.
Some of the orders issued by the court have the potential to roll back the current collective bargaining agreements that govern the remuneration and career progression of teachers. In effect, the judgment has rubbished the CBA.
Both the TSC and the KNUT have expressed willingness to meet as instructed by the courts to find a way of handling that ruling, but they are yet to do so, leaving thousands of teachers unsure of what the future holds for their careers. Brenda Wanga, NTV.
All right, let's now take a history lesson, and the politically charged topic that is the Mau Forest evictions has flared up again, with Narok leaders allied to former Premier Raila Odinga rejecting calls for compensation as proposed by Rift Valley leaders over the weekend. But leaders from the Rift Valley, who included Baringo Senator Gideon Moi, made the case for the compensation of the about 60,000 settlers who will be affected by a second phase of evictions. NTV's Olive Burrows with more.
The importance of the Mau Forest as a water catchment cornerstone is indisputable.
It's also hard to argue with the evidence laid bare of the destruction of the forest on account of human settlement and the consequences downstream.
Narok tuko na the seventh wonder of the world ya wild beast kitoka Tanzania. Last year hatukuweza kupata wild beast, zilikufa mingi kwa sababu ya Masai Mara river imekauka. Tunataka kuuliza, ni hiyo ndio tunataka Kenya irudi nyuma? Hatutaki kitu kama hiyo itumiwe kama siasa.
What the stakeholders can't seem to agree on is how to go about remedying the situation. The government having evicted 12,000 of those who've illegally settled in the forest and planning to evict 60,000 more in a second phase. It's this planned second phase that has the political class scrambling to get on the right side of the fence.
Masai Mara belong to the Narok people. And we are holding it in trust not only for the people of Kenya, but for the people of the world. Because the Nile flows from the Mau, the Masai Mara flows from the Mau, the Lake Victoria gets its water from the Mau.
Narok leaders have come out in defense of Environment Cabinet Secretary Keriako Tobiko, who has maintained that the government will not sanction an illegality by paying out compensation to the 60,000 it plans to evict.
It's protecting Mau forest, just as it's protecting Mount Kenya, Abadeas, and anywhere else in this country. So it's not doing it as a tribalist.
But a section of Rift Valley leaders say the evictions, which sometimes turn violent, amount to crimes against humanity and should be done humanely.
The message the leadership of South Rift have brought is extremely serious. The message that they've brought to us, all of us here, is that there are families, over 60,000 of them, in dire straits.
The government can buy back the land, like has been mentioned. We've seen how SGR imefanywa. Kama serikali wanataka jenga barabara, they will buy my land and I let go.
Those children in the Mau are not guilty of anything. Kama wazazi wao waliingia pale kimakosa, si kosa la hawa watoto.
The Mau evictions having proven a hot political button topic for political nemesis Raila Odinga and Deputy President William Ruto in the past, while efforts to protect the last swathes of trees that make up the Mau forest are caught between an ecological and political crisis. Olive Barrows, NTV.
All right, now a section of church members from the controversy-dogged Central SDA Church are now accusing the president of Central Kenya Conference, Pastor John Kiragu, of burying his head in the sand after he issued a statement over the weekend downplaying the Saturday incident in which a number of the members of the congregation were excommunicated. Now, the statement sent to the newsrooms described Pastor Kiragu's action as most unfortunate, since it only serves to worsen the crisis at the church. It goes ahead to describe the pastor as naive, dishonest and reckless. The members accuse Pastors Kiragu, JP Maiwa and Peter Nyaga of occasioning the crisis by calling the police on the flock and want them to follow church procedures when dealing with matters of alleged discipline. The Nairobi Central SDA Church was rocked by chaos after police chased away worshippers due to escalating leadership wrangles. Well, members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church are reportedly divided over the controversial process of deregistering some of them. Hundreds of worshippers who had turned out for church service were left stranded outside the building as GSU officers cordoned off the building. Right, politics, and NTV is learning of a new political outfit forming, dubbed the Super Alliance, bringing together close allies of President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga as they strategize past the Building Bridges Initiative recommendations. Now, sources indicate the early opposition to a referendum by Deputy President William Ruto's allies could just have unsettled those close to President Kenyatta and Odinga, and are now strategizing afresh, launching a multiple-pronged approach in the hope of whipping the country behind a referendum push.
Could the country be on the verge of a new political alliance? That is the question in the political circles as key players seemingly coalesce around the idea of a referendum. There have been deliberate efforts to sell the partnership between President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga ever since they shook hands on March 9, 2018, as their lieutenants and those sympathetic to their cause crisscross the country preaching the benefits of their union. The baseline has been the peace and calm that has so far led to improved security and opened up the country to foreign and local investors. Since the Building Bridges initiative wound up its sittings, teams allied to President Kenyatta and Odinga have kicked off countrywide campaigns to drum up support for a referendum in anticipation of the BBI report. In Rift Valley, politicians opposed to DP Ruto, led by Baringo Senator Gideon Moi, have already kicked off their campaigns.
Kazi yao ni kusema no. Hata kabla kuona swali.
Raila Odinga, as the leader of the opposition in Kenya, should be in parliament.
Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta kama rais ya taifa la Kenya, naunga mkono Raila kwa ile handshake ambayo walifanya, sababu hiyo ilileta umoja kwa taifa letu.
But those allied to the deputy president have been on an onslaught of the BBI, terming it a waste of time.
Those people who are undertaking the BBI process is taking Kenyans for a ride, and we are not fools.
Wale watu wa BBI hawakuchukua maoni ya viongozi wa county 27. County number 27. We were never consulted. Let it go on record.
Women leaders have also been laying emphasis on the proposals they have made before the BBI team, even as they appealed to emotion with a message targeted at the women.
Wanasema tunataka kukuwa na MPs wawili peke yake kwa Baringo County. 2 MPs. At 1 woman, 1 man. How? Hiyo MP atawakilisha wapi mpaka wapi? Tumesema kama wamama wa Kenya that we represent 51% of this country. Na lazima we get our rightful share.
The new alliance could bring together President Uhuru Kenyatta, opposition leaders Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, and KANU chairman and Baringo Senator Gideon Moi, all who have voiced support for the Building Bridges initiative. National Assembly Majority Leader Aden Duale only recently broke rank with the deputy president on the referendum debate.
Leader of ODM, Honorable Raila Odinga, and the leader of Jubilee, President Uhuru Kenyatta, are the cornerstones of the leaders who formed the BBI.
Mambo ya siasa, mrengo huu, mrengo ule, chama ile, chama hiyo, mpango hii na mpango hiyo, isitutenganishe.
The Embrace Women League, led by Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru and Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu, with ODM leader Raila Odinga's wife Ida Odinga as the patron, has also been a key crusader of the referendum to expand the executive to bring in a prime minister and 2 deputies and have the opposition leaders in parliament. Observers say this political pact in the face of a referendum will also form the basis of a grueling 2022 succession race. Kennedy Muredhi, NTV.
All right, it's time for our first break here on NTV Tonight, but coming up, 2 sets of parents for 1 child. Well, whose child is it? The details straight up.
Mimi vile nilipigiwa simu sikuona kama ni mimi, hata sikuamini. Mimi nilisikia nikiwa poa sana, nikafurahi, tukaruka na bibi, tulikuwa tuna bibi. Watoto hawakuwa na kuanga na pick up ya transport hapa the Great Donyo. Sasa nataka kununua ingine karoli kubwa kidogo na ile itabaki ninunue kaproti mahali. Mimi vile nitawaambia, hii ni kama kikundi tu ile tunaendana. Leo ni mimi, kesho ni wewe. Kila mtu ajaribu bahati yake. Cheza Lotto, tuzidi pamoja.
Win every day with Lotto. Play now for a chance to win a guaranteed 200,000 shillings in the daily jackpot tonight. Plus, you can be one of 10 players to take home 10,000 shillings today. You will also get a free chance to win over 1 million shillings this Wednesday. Cheza tuzidi pamoja. Send 50 shillings to pay bill 777 000. Count NTV. Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the PCLB.
could say I'm a lucky man. I got everything I need right in front of me. It's the real thing. But they ain't nothing like that feeling when I come back home. Oh, when I come back
The Kenya Defence Forces is hosting the 12th edition of the East African Community Military Games and Cultural Events. Join us at the Moi International Sports Center Kasarani from August 11th to August 24th. The event will bring together military teams from Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania and Uganda. Military teams from 6 EAC countries will compete in football, volleyball, netball, basketball and cross-country. Don't miss the 12th edition of the East Africa Community Military Games and Cultural Event.
one people, one destiny. Tuungane kwa umoja.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. Panadol Extra, now with new Optizorb technology to fight multiple tough pains with 3 times more pain-relieving medicine in the first 30 minutes when you need it most. Seeing them support themselves makes any pain worth it. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Once again, we are at it together. We are absolutely everywhere and we love it. This is what makes us tick. This is what makes our heart beat. It is always on the edge. It is always football time.
Get an HD decoder, dish kit, plus 2 months of DSTV Family for only 4,999 shillings.
In 2017, Lifestyle Estates promised Lifestyle Heights in Tatu City. The dream is now a reality. Lifestyle Heights is ready for occupation from 1st September 2019. Lifestyle Heights is a modern gated community of 2, 3 and 3 bedroom with DSQ apartments with amenities rare to find elsewhere. We are inviting you to our open day on the 24th and 25th August 2019 at Lifestyle Heights, Tatu City from 8 a.m. Karibuni nyote.
For nearly 5 decades now, Daystar has been stirring passions, supporting and shaping career aspirations as it develops transformational servant leaders for Africa and beyond.
The public is in dire need of servant leaders. Daystar University has been in the business of making them. I am a product in the making.
Book your intake now and be the next. Call us or visit www.daystar.ac.ke for more information.
Investing in the taxi business just got bigger and better with Maridadi Motors Smart PSVs. Buy a Smart Cab Plus from us at 1.25 million shillings and get 47,000 every month. A Smart Chop Chop Cab at 675,000 shillings and get 25,000 every month. Best news yet, we manage the cab for you and give you guaranteed returns every month. Maridadi Motors, move your status.
This is not a kid's birthday. This is a prestigious white affair that should not cost anything south of 5 million. Get me other service providers who know what and who they are dealing with. If you cannot appear or even come close to the Forbes magazine, then just leave. Kairo, simama hivi. Moja kwa muto tumalizane.
Mom, I'm being circumcised.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, 2 families, one from Nakuru County and the other from Busia County, are fighting over a child that was reported missing over a month ago in Nakuru County. Both families who insist the child is theirs will now have to take a DNA test that they hope will settle the dispute. NTV's Nuru Abdul Aziz has the details.
This family in Abur Kemomer village, Teso East in Busia County, received some unexpected guests. A family from Nakuru that had come to claim their child, who they allege was stolen from their home in Nakuru a month ago.
Sasa huyu mtoto wa pili niliachia jirani yangu kwenda kutafuta lunch. Nikamwambia niangalie mtoto. Akaniambia sasa umweka hapo kwa kiti nitakuangalilia. Sasa vile nilimweka hapo nikaenda. Kurudi sikupata mtoto.
She then decided to ask around.
Jirani ananiambia tuliona mama akiingia kwa nyumba tena akatoka, but hatukuwa tunajua kama ni mtoto. Sasa mimi nikakimbia hivyo kaenda kuulizia mpaka nikaenda police station ndio nikaripoti.
Police have been investigating her claims. Their probe led them to this village in Teso East.
Nilizaa tarehe 1 mwezi wa 5. Sasa kuna miezi 2.
Lillian Okuta, however, claims the child is hers.
Huyu mtoto ako less than 1 month. Huyu mtoto amezaliwa tarehe 15 mwezi wa 7.
Tuko sure mtoto ni wetu. Na hiyo kesi tungetaka ifanywe Nakuru. Juu sisi ni wa Nakuru.
Siwezi nikasema mingi. Siwezi nikajitetea niseme mtoto ni wangu ama si wangu. Niko na card, niko na kila kitu yenye inaonyesha mtoto ni wangu.
Lillian claims she delivered in Nakuru while visiting her friends with the help of a midwife.
Kama wanasema kabisa mimi nimechukua mtoto yao na it turn out ati DNA inasema mtoto ni yao, it's okay, watamchukua kama ni wao. Siwezi nikakatalia mtoto ya wenyewe.
Police say they will all have to take DNA tests to ascertain the child's true paternity. Nuru Abdulaziz, NTV.
All right, well, as you digest that one, chew on this. A man was lynched in Sango village in Bungoma County last night over claims that he stole 3 chickens. 32-year-old Martin Lubale is alleged to have gone to his neighbor's house early this morning demanding to be paid a debt he was owed. But he was instead given 3 chickens. But just before he left, the neighbor is said to have raised the alarm, claiming that he stole his chicken, while the villagers descended on the man and beat him to death. Police have once again urged the public not to take matters into their own hands, as this incident comes barely 2 weeks after 4 people were arrested for horrifically slashing a suspected chicken thief in Kakamega. Well, the whole incident was caught on camera. Absolutely horrific. And just to reiterate what police say, do not take matters into your own hands. All right, let's shift focus from that. And today, August the 12th, marks World Elephant Day, which was launched back in 2012 to bring attention to the urgent plight of the Asian and African elephants. Now, their numbers across the world were plummeting and their existence majorly threatened. Let's just have a look at the numbers briefly. And as of May 2019, it's estimated that 350,000 African elephants remain and just 40,000 Asian elephants are left in the world. Now, it's estimated that about 10 to 15,000 elephants are poached every year and killed by poachers. But then, on a positive note, the elephant mortality rate has improved. It stood at 10% in 2011 and then declined to 4% in 2017. And this could be because there has, in fact, been a reduction in poaching of late. But having said that, elephants are still threatened globally, and these are the main reasons. domestic, or rather these are the solutions. Okay, here we have the threats once again. The ivory trade, habitat loss as human populations grow, human-wildlife conflict, and also poverty. These are some of the major threats. And now, of course, let's have a look at the solution, because to every problem there is a solution. One of them, ban domestic trade. And in fact, Singapore has recently said that it will ban domestic trade in elephant ivory from September 2021, so that's good news. Other solutions include protecting habitats, mitigating conflict, and laying down stronger law and enforcement. And of course, there is always something that you too can do, such as supporting elephant conservation. You can follow ethical tourism guidelines. Do not support places that exploit elephants for entertainment. You can also help protect habitat, and do not buy or sell ivory. And of course, the best thing you can do is go out and visit these incredible creatures. There are a number of places that you can travel to here in Kenya alone. They really are gentle giants and worth seeing if you haven't, or like me, if it's been a while since you've gone, since you've seen them, then do ensure that you make a trip to do so. So August 12th there, World Elephant Day. All right, we are taking another breather on NTV tonight. At this point, do stay with us, because here's what's coming up. Adrenaline junkies take a leap of faith at the diving competition. We'll tell you more after this short commercial.
The 2019 Kenya Population and Housing Census is coming. For Kenya's planning and development, we all have to be counted. People from all walks of life in any part of Kenya, it's your right to be counted. Be ready to be counted where you will be on the night of the 24th of August 2019. The 2019 Kenya Population and Housing Census, counting our people for sustainable development and devolution of services. Jitokeze uhesabike.
Hey, mister. Where you going?
Men clean their cars themselves. I'll also clean my own bike. I'm grown up now.
Then you'll need this. The most pleasant surprise for a mother is to see her child growing up. But I know as he learns to take more responsibility, he'll face more dirt, germs, and the risk of illness.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection, because Dettol cleans and protects against 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
School of Business University of Nairobi, globally recognized and offering internationally accredited programs, invites applications for the September 2019 intake in the following postgraduate and undergraduate programs: Master in Business Administration, Master of Science in Marketing, Human Resources Management, Entrepreneurship and Innovations Management, Finance, Supply Chain Management, Operations and Technology Management, Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor Commerce Distance Learning, Bachelor of Science in Finance, Accounting, Operations and Supply Chain Management. Programs are offered in Mombasa and Kisumu campuses and selected programs at the Eldoret Learning Center. Apply online through application.uonbi.ac.ke and be the first to secure admission at the most prestigious university in Sub-Saharan Africa. The University of Nairobi is a world-class university committed to scholarly excellence.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth, causing that discomfort. If the sensitivity is left alone, it may get worse. Dentists recommend Sensodyne to their patients. It's able to get inside the tooth and calm the nerve of the tooth down, and the proof's in the results. It works.
Making my family some nutritious porridge is a painstaking process. First, I have to find all the ingredients needed, and there are many. For vitamins, proteins, and minerals, I need cassava, sorghum, millet. You no longer need to go through all that to make nutritious porridge. All you need is NutriPro.
You don't have to go through the trouble of finding, measuring, and weighing all these vital ingredients. New NutriPro porridge flour comes fortified with 13 vitamins, proteins, and minerals. This means that you have more time to focus on what's important, giving your family the healthy start they deserve. NutriPro, bringing families together. From Tropical Brand.
We define your great moments in higher learning through our tradition, diversity, friendship, and merit. The depth and relevance of academic programs is our pride, as we shape our graduates beyond the intellect. We are ready for you. St. Paul's University avails to you variety and consistency as we keep our programs technologically driven and entrepreneurially linked to inspire innovation and service. The door to excellence is open for you. Join us now for August intake. For further information, call us or interact with us online. St. Paul's University, unleashing untapped potential.
Ingieni, pole, imejaa.
Nini? Tunakujua kwa nini wazee wetu wanapotelea kwako.
Ndio tulikuwa tunataka kujua siri yako.
Siri ndio hiyo. Introducing the new salad oil with a spout for easy use. Comes packed with omega-6 and 9 and vitamin A and D and at a price that doesn't dent your wallet.
Leo utakula nyumbani.
Salad. Siri ndio hiyo.
John suffers from indigestion. His twin James suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
All right, let's kick off with some international news. And all passenger flights in and out of Hong Kong were cancelled today after thousands of pro-democracy protesters flooded the city's airport to denounce police violence. The abrupt shutdown at one of the world's busiest hubs came as the Chinese government signaled its rising anger at the protesters, denouncing some of the violent demonstrations as terrorism. Well, authorities said that they were working to reopen the airport by 6 a.m. Tuesday morning, but hundreds of protesters remained in the arrivals hall well into the night with no sign of leaving. The developments marked yet another dramatic escalation in a 10-week crisis that has already become the biggest challenge to Chinese rule of Hong Kong since the 1997 British handover. Also, the administration of US President Donald Trump has announced new rules that aim to deny permanent residency and citizenship benefits to migrants who receive food stamps, medical aid and other public welfare. The acting director of US Citizenship and Immigration Services say migrants will be blocked from entering the country if they're likely to need public assistance, and those already there will not be able to obtain green cards or US citizenship.
Our rule generally prevents aliens who are likely to become a public charge from coming to the United States or remaining here and getting a green card. Public charge is now defined in a way that ensures the law is meaningfully enforced and that those who are subject to it are self-sufficient.
Now, Kenya joined the rest of the world in celebrating Eid al-Adha as Muslim families across the country took some time to give and share with the less fortunate. NTV's Bill Otieno has more.
Prayers, slaughter and fasting marked the day. The Muslim community across the country joined the rest of the world in celebrating this holy day. In Taita Taveta, Muslim families donated 750 cows to be slaughtered and shared among orphans, widows and people living with disabilities across the country.
Hii ni moja ya kuonesha kwamba maskini na tajiri yuko sawa. Manake nafikiri hapa tulipo watu wote wameshikana, ni matajiri kwa maskini, wote wanachinja kwa mahali pamoja. Wanagawanya nyama kwa usawa na wanasherehekea wakiwa sawa.
In Mombasa, thousands of Muslim believers gathered at the Tononoka ground for prayers led by Sheikh Ahmed. The leaders called on Kenyans to live in harmony. And in Garissa and Tana River counties, more than 3,000 families also had a reason to smile after they benefited from food donations from the non-profit organizations from Turkey. Elsewhere around the world, South Africans celebrates the religious festival in Johannesburg. But the celebration never ended smoothly for the residents of Kashmir in India as they struggled to fulfill their rituals ahead of Eid on Monday, a week after India imposed a curfew. Indian troops imposed tight restrictions on mosques across Kashmir for Monday Eid al-Adha festival. Eid is celebrated by Muslims across the world to remember the attempt by Prophet Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac, but who was offered a ram instead. Bilotieno, NTV.
All right, now this one is not for the faint of heart, but for these adrenaline junkies, it's just another day at the office. Check this one out. Courageous divers from around the world competed in jumping off a 27-meter cliffside platform at an international competition hosted at a small village in Crimea. 14 athletes from Great Britain, Russia, Czech Republic, Italy, the US, Mexico, Brazil and others showed their skills jumping or perhaps diving off the village of Simiez near the Crimean town of Yalta. Hundreds of spectators on waterbeds, yachts and on the Pebble Beach cheered and applauded, while the free-rate cliff diving World Cup participants tried to impress them with their courage and their incredible bravery. The winner of the previous 3 years' competitions, Gay Hunt from Great Britain, took first place again this year and received the $7,000 prize. All right, pretty amazing stuff. $7,000, not bad prize money. We're taking another breather, but coming up, life as a mortician. What's it like working with the dead? The My Job segment features a mortician. Stay with us.
Tusonge mbele na Fiber Mobile. Get a Fiber SIM card today and enjoy Tusonge mbele bundles at affordable prices.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Nation FM. More music and less talk. Nairobi 96.3, Mombasa 101.5, Meru 93.9, Nyeri 104.9, Eldoret 102.7 and Nakuru on 97.7. Follow us on social media on Facebook at Nation FM, Instagram at Nation FM and on Twitter at Nation FM KE. Nation FM. More music and less talk.
Who wants to answer? Mary?
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because the tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity. That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate. Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities for maximum cavity protection. And now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh breath. Only 15 shillings.
Parenting is all about learning when to be tough and when to be gentle. Tough, gentle. But when it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Tough call. Panadol Baby and Infant. Tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Well?
Thank you so much. Can I buy a chocolate, please? It's for my mom. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you. There's a class and a half in everyone.
So when someone asked what you would have wanted to do when you grew up, do you recall anyone who ever said that they wanted to be a mortician? Well, I certainly don't. And it does perhaps sound like a dark and depressing job, but apparently working in a mortuary can be fulfilling. It's a highly skilled job that's less about pushing trolleys and putting bodies into cold storage and more about helping the family and friends of a departed one. NTV's Martin Mwara spent some time with a mortician at the Murang'a County Mortuary and gives us a glimpse into what it's like to work with the dead in this week's My Job segment.
Kwa majina naitwa James Gishoro Mwangi, niko na miaka 25 and I'm married. Nafanyanga kazi katika chumba cha kuhifadhi maiti Murang'a County Funeral Home as a mortician. Ile kitu ilifanya nichague kufanya hii course ya mortuary science mwaka wa 2009. Tulipoteza shosho yetu, alikuwa amehifadhiwa katika chumba cha kuhifadhi maiti Murang'a General Hospital mortuary, and the condition that she was sikufurahia sana. Hii kazi nimeifanya kwa muda wa miaka 4. Nilienda University of Nairobi Chilomo campus, nikafanya course which took me 3 months. Thereafter nikarudi huku. Tangu nikuje hapa mimi sijai tumia dawa yoyote ya kulevya ndio niweze kufanya kazi. Kwa siku tunareceive mili 5 ama 3. Process ya kureceive mwili, tunachukua trolley. Once tumereceive mwili, tunaangalia kama akona kitu kwa mfuko. Kama hana, tunauliza familia kama wangetaka kumwangalia wao wenyewe ama tuwaangalilie kama mfuko iko na kitu. Wakishasema wameridhika, tunachukua mwili, tunaipeleka kwa embalming lab, undress. After undressing the body, we disinfect it by washing. Then thereafter tunafanya incision. Tunatumianga femoral artery kuembalm kwa sababu ndio njia rahisi ya kuwekea dawa. Tukiembalm lazima mtu amasajio mwili ndio dawa iende kila sehemu ya mwili. After embalming tuna drain hiyo mwili ndio maji yote iko kwa mwili itoke. Then after that tunachukua mwili tunaigiza hapa kwa cabinet. Challenge kubwa ni nilikuwa nimelala hapa, nikasikia kama mtoto analia huko ndani. Nikaenda nikaangalia kama hakika ni mtoto analia. Coincident nikapata kwa cabinet kuna mtoto mmoja. Mimi nikaogopa sana na ikanibidi nitoke nje, nifunge, niende. Venye nilifunga mlango, nikaenda nyuma ya hii facility, nikapata cat. Kumbe ni wao walikuwa wanalia wanaigiza echo ndani ya cabinet. Kusema ukweli salary ni duni. Hata kama huwa hatuangalii hivyo, at least wanafaa watu boost. They have to boost our morale.
Wow, certainly does require some courage to do that job. Good on him. All right, let's take a break. We're shifting focus. The sports news is coming up next with Ida. The Harambee Stars now don't have a coach. Details of that coming up.
Hii ni ya wale wanajitambua, yani wale wanajiamini.
Yani someone took their sweet time and thought about us.
Rembo TV, simply beautiful.
In 2017, Lifestyle Estates promised Lifestyle Heights in Tatu City. The dream is now a reality. Lifestyle Heights is ready for occupation from 1st September 2019. Lifestyle Heights is a modern gated community of 2, 3 and 3 bedroom with DSQ apartments with amenities rare to find elsewhere. We are inviting you to our open day on the 24th and 25th August 2019 at Lifestyle Heights, Tatu City from 8 a.m. Karibuni nyote.
Wacha kuingia kwa nyumba ya nyuki, unachokora nyuki. Unajua nyuki iko capable kufanya nini?
Watu wa nyuma wanasema volume haiko sawa sawa. Nasema hiyo mambo ya mtoto haikuwa kwa CBA.
Nyinyi mna complain mnakosea. Unajua mpaka mimi wananipimia ugali.
Uko na bundles kweli? For FMB naweza ingia YouTube naifanya kitu.
Yaani hauwezi kuanza kupoke your nonsense into my businesses. Shifira ameletea mtoto mimi nichunge. Mkiniangalia vizuri na kama mtu adekea.
Hata mmevuta bangi. Going. Nkiro na si umepanda bei.
Ni ngond.
The Real House Helps of Kawangware in association with Telkom.
Join Telkom today and share life on our expanded 4G network. Telkom, moving with you.
Enjoy all your favorite NTV programs on all free-to-air set-top boxes and digital TVs. Catch us on ADN channel 101 and 103, DSTV channel 271, GoTV channel 91, Zuku channel 13, and Star Times channel 106. NTV, turning on your world.
This is not a kid's birthday. This is a prestigious white affair that should not cost anything south of 5 million. Get me other service providers who know what and who they are dealing with. If you cannot appear or even come close to the Forbes magazine, then just leave.
Kairo, simama hivi. Moja kwa muto tumalizane.
Mom, I'm being circumcised.
Anti-bus.
Good evening to you. Hoping you had a fantastic week, or rather start to your week. And let's get into the world of sport with a huge focus on national teams today. And the Football Kenya Federation has parted ways with a national football team head coach Sebastian Minye. According to a statement released on Monday evening, the appointment process for a new technical bench is already underway. We examine the events that led up to the Frenchman's departure and what is next for the Harambee Stars. Sebastian Minye's introduction to the Kenyan football scene was in May 2018, following Belgian Paul Put's 3-month stint at the helm of the national team.
I'm really happy to discover a new country and to have a new challenge here.
Coming from a loss to Sierra Leone in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, the Frenchman's entry seemed to be a welcome relief. In the 46-year-old's first assignment as Kenya's coach, he engineered a shock 1-0 win over 4-time African champions Ghana at Kasarani.
We are so far from the high level. We are on the way, but so far.
This would be followed by a series of results and circumstances that saw Kenya qualify for her first Nations Cup in 15 years after one of the best defensive records at the qualifiers. However, a lackluster AFCON performance saw the Harambee Stars leak in 7 goals between 2 losses and a single win. Minye's selection and tactics courting controversy. This was followed by a shock loss to Tanzania at home that resulted in Kenya getting bundled out of the African Nations Championship CHAN qualifiers. This proved to be the last straw, and the Frenchman gave early signs that he wouldn't be with the Stars for much longer.
Every defeat, you want to sack the coach, you want to change everything, but you will stay doing as you are since 20 years. It will be the same. Don't be afraid if from the 12th of this month you cannot see me here, because sometimes I read, where is the coach? No, the coach is there.
Minye's departure brings to light the age-old question: would a local coach better understand and handle the national team? The Frenchman becomes the 10th coach to exit a 2019 Africa Cup of Nations team in the last 1 month following the conclusion of the biennial tournament. Well, what's very interesting about that story is after the Tanzania game, Menye did give us warning that he would not be around from the 12th of August. And sure enough, today is the 12th of August and he has exited. Let's move on. The national men and women hockey teams had mixed fortunes on the opening day of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics qualifiers. The women's team edged Namibia 1-0 courtesy of a Grace Makoha goal in the 45th minute. However, the men's team later fell 3-2 to Ghana in a pulsating match. Day 2 will see Egypt and Kenya face off in the men's game after the Ghana and Kenya women's teams clash. The tournament is being played in a round-robin format with only the top men and women teams securing tickets to the 2020 Olympics in Japan. Well, better luck tomorrow for the hockey teams. And the national women's basketball team taking part in the FIBA AfroBasket Championship in Senegal has cried out for help from the government through the Ministry of Sports. The Lady Morans, who lost their 2 group games against Mozambique and Cape Verde, not only traveled late, but reportedly did so with an incomplete team due to lack of funds.
Assignment. We are being forced to play an international tournament with only 10 players and 1 coach, while being expected to perform at a high level, which puts us at a great disadvantage. Call to action to Women's Commission and all relevant parties. We are asking that the leadership pushes the Federation and the government to release our funds as per the budget, which was sent immediately after we qualified for the AfroBasket in Uganda. We understand the budget was $50 per day per player from the government and some more money from the Federation. As we prepare for our next game on Wednesday against Angola, we would like a solution to this issue.
It definitely seems to be one thing after another in the Kenyan sports industry. Well, the national under-15 national team is set to jet out to Eritrea on Tuesday morning ahead of the Sekafa under-15 championships. The junior stars held their final training session on Monday at the Wadi Degla club ahead of the 2-week tourney. The tournament is set to kick off, on August 16th, with the final slated for September 1st in Asmara. Kenya is in Group A with Somalia, Burundi, and hosts Eritrea.
We need to learn on how we build up, because the structure, we need to learn stuff like that, the tactical aspects of the game. We need to work on that. We need to learn how when the pressure is on, how do we react to such things.
Well, all the best to the boys there. I am throwing it back to Smriti. That pretty much winds it up here on Sports, where we play again tomorrow. Smriti, I do have to admit it hasn't been the best day in the office for Kenyan sports, but tomorrow is definitely another day.
That's right, and we look forward to it. Ida, thanks very much. Thank you for watching NTV tonight. Thanks to Flora Atieno, our sign language interpreter. It's 10 o'clock. That's where we leave it. See you again soon. I'm Smriti Vidyarthi. Good night.